Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a video all about your assumptions about me as a parent. I'm about to be a first-time mom. I'm about 8 months along now cooking this baby, so we're definitely nearing towards the end of my pregnancy. So I thought now would be a great time to read your parenting assumptions about me and maybe what kind of a mom I might be. I'm obviously not a giant YouTuber, I'm a microscopic YouTuber, so I didn't get a ton of responses for this video, so I'm probably just gonna read all the ones that I did get. I told everyone to be mean with me. I was like, be harsh, give me your worst, say it how you really feel it. People were not that mean with me. First assumption is this baby is gonna have the silliest nicknames ever. That's probably true. I am somebody who nicknames everybody ever. I give everybody in my vicinity nicknames, whether it be good or bad. It's just kind of a habit I've had my entire life, is giving people nicknames. So far, she really doesn't have any nicknames. I mean, her name's Ariel. I've called her baby girl a lot. I've called her Miss Baby from Leanne Says. Miss Baby's probably my favorite thing, but it's a direct ripoff from Leanne Says. Baby G, you know, I don't know. I mean, so far she really doesn't have a ton of nicknames, but I'm sure once she gets here and we start experiencing her personality more and more, I'll come up with some things for sure. Probably Daddy's Girl. I just get the vibes she's gonna be my husband's best friend, and that makes me so happy. Second assumption is you won't be making homemade baby food. That's probably true. That's probably gonna be true. I am looking at a baby bullet. My mom got me a baby bullet years ago, and it's been waiting for me to have a baby. For those of you who don't know what a baby bullet is, it is Magic Bullet's baby version for making baby food. She found it at a garage sale. It has all of the attachments, all of the products that come with it. It's never been used. I don't know if I'll be making baby food or not. I might. I feel like I might, just because it's probably honestly a lot cheaper to do, but it's also just like another thing to do. And I don't know how busy or how overwhelmed I'm gonna be with this baby just yet, so I can't say for sure. I can't give a definite answer there, but I'm gonna say that's probably true. Next assumption is you're gonna be one cool ass mom. I assume you're worried, but I bet you got this. Thank you, I appreciate that. I do feel like I'm gonna be a cool mom. I mean, look at me, aren't I super cool? I do feel like I'll be a cool mom because I'm very open to talking about things like sex and drugs, you know, like those are things I have no problem steering away from. Religion. I'm very open. I don't really keep a lot of secrets. I don't think a lot of subjects are taboo. I think the best way to make your kids not curious about something is to educate them and let them know how unafraid you are to talk about it with them. So I'm really not afraid of most things, I guess. So I do feel like I'm gonna be a cool mom. I'm pretty understanding, I'm pretty open like I said, and I'm pretty realistic. I remember how I was as a teenager pretty damn well, and if I ever forget, I've got tons of journals that I can read through. But I feel like for the most part, I'll be a pretty cool mom. I feel like I'll be pretty chill, pretty relaxed, nothing too insane. As well as I really think there is a lot to be said about letting your child be their own human. I by no means want to make a carbon copy of myself. I by no means want to force my beliefs and my values onto another person. That has never been my MO of life. And it certainly isn't going to start with my child. I'm not going to force them to think any way or believe any way. I want them to come to their own conclusions and want them to have their own opinion on the world and their own feelings towards things. And I'm just honestly excited to find out what those are. I'm just excited to find out who my child is. I'm not trying to make them somebody that they're not. I'm very excited to meet who they are. So, okay, some of my friends are just too nice. The next one says you are going to be the most doting and supportive mom. That I do feel. Do feel that, and I'm not gonna say the most because you know, I'm sure there's other loving, supportive, doting mothers out there. But if my relationship with my cat has anything to do with how I'll be as a mother, I do think I'll be a very doting mom for sure. I do feel like I'm going to be a very supportive mom because, like I said, I want to support my children no matter who they are, what they are. I just want them to know it's okay to be who you are, and I will love you no matter what because you're my child. Next one is you're gonna be a cool mom. Okay. Like I said, people were a little too nice with me. I wish I got some harsher ones in here. I think I will be a cool mom. I think I'll be all right. I'm not gonna be too cool when they're a teenager. My assumption has always been you're gonna be best friends with your child, but then if you're a good parent as a teenager, they should kind of hate you. So I'm expecting them to kind of hate me when they're a teenager. But that's okay. They'll come back to me one day. You know, if you do your job right, they'll come back to you. But I am expecting, you know, I mean, I think I'm cool. Like, I think I'll be okay. So I think I'll be a cool mom. I don't know. We'll see. They'll probably think I'm the lamest person in the world. And you know what? That just means I'm doing a good job. Your kids are going to be born with purple hair, right? Ah, that would be great, wouldn't it? I have had people ask a lot about coloring my child's hair. Like, would I let them color their hair? Would I let them do that? If they see me with purple hair and they want purple hair, would I do it? The short answer is yeah, for sure. The long answer is I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I've been practicing doing hair for 10 years. If my kid wants purple hair, who better to dye their hair purple than me? Also, I would die to have my little girl want purple hair and us be twinning. Like, how cute. I cannot. I don't care if anyone thinks that's wrong. I don't care if anyone thinks you're too young to color your hair. If you believe that, don't dye your child's hair when they're young. I don't believe that, and I also have the credentials to prove it is safe. So yeah, if my kid wants colored hair, I have no problem coloring my child's hair. I am super, super okay with that. That's gonna be just fine. The only thing that might hold them back is school. A lot of schools won't allow you to color your hair bright colors, so that's the only hesitation I have with that, is obviously if it's against their school dress code, we can't do it. Next assumption is you'll be super chill and not very strict. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, like I said, this goes back to the whole me being an understanding person. I am a very understanding person. I want my kid to have all the fun experiences that I was able to have growing up without so much of the fear. However, there will still be rules, there will still be guidelines, there will still be a lot of things that our kid probably hates simply because we're growing up in different generations. There's a lot more technology in our kids' generation than there was in our generation. So I can see a lot of issues arising when it comes to like, how old are they going to be when they get a cell phone? Well, everyone else has a cell phone and blah blah blah. There are going to be a lot of rules around managing cell phone usage and internet usage just to help protect them and keep them safe. That is where I think we'll butt heads probably the most, is when it comes to technology usage. But the best thing that I can do for my children in that scenario is just be a good example, set a good example, not be on my phone all the time. And that is something I've definitely been working towards during this pregnancy, is learning to be more absent from my phone and not be so attached to it and really be more present and in the moment. I'm just gonna try and set a good example and be a good example. That way they won't really know that it's weird or different. I'm expecting to hear some sort of ode to Taylor Swift in her name. Blink twice if the thought crossed your mind. For sure it crossed my mind. Yes, yes. I played around with naming a boy Taylor. If our baby ended up being a boy, I did throw around the, you know, idea of naming them Taylor. Obviously after the great Taylor Swift, my idol, my queen, my everything. And then our second runner up for baby names, if her name wasn't Ariel, we were gonna name her Allison, which is Taylor Swift's middle name. And not even necessarily because of it being Taylor Swift's middle name. I mean, that's how I discovered that name, but my husband just really liked the name Allison as well. So if we have a second daughter, we'll probably end up naming her Allison. And yes, it is a sneaky ode to Taylor Swift. I assume that you're gonna be the raddest mom in the whole state of Ohio. Thanks, girl. Love you. I mean, we'll see, guys. I mean, I'm not that cool, right? Like, I'm just a human at the end of the day. I'm not any extraordinary being, but I feel like I'll be cooler than most. I feel like I won't be as crazy as most moms. I feel like I won't be as intense as most moms. I feel like I will be a little more relaxed and chiller than most moms. And I'm very excited to I'm just excited to be a mom, and I think that has a lot to do with how I'll be raising our kid and how I'll be parenting them and how accepting I'm trying to be of just who they are and getting to know their personality and letting them be who they are. I'm just excited. It's something I've wanted my whole life. It's actually the only thing I've known that I've wanted my whole life. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do my whole life. So I feel very confident that I'm meant to do it. So it just feels right. And I'm just ready for it. I think that contributes to me being a cool mom or a rad mom or a chill mom because I want it. It's not a decision that was forced onto me. It's not something that I was forced into or doing before I'm ready. We were able to practice Planned Parenthood and choose when we wanted to start our family and choose the timing of it by using birth control. I'm not gonna get into the abortion topic, although I will slide in real fast and say I'm totally pro-choice. Even as a pregnant mother, I believe in a woman's right to choose, and I will always stand with a woman's right to choose. I never believe that any woman should be forced into a pregnancy or forced into having a child that they don't want. I can make a whole video ranting about that. If you would like that, let me know in the comments down below if you want to hear my thoughts on all of that as a Texan. But I feel very grateful and very lucky that we were able to do this on our timing when we were ready. And I think that has a lot to do with how good of parents we'll be able to be now. Next assumption says you're going to be very cautious, like putting bubble wrap everywhere to protect the baby from tables, reading labels on things and what material clothing is all made out of. That is not true. That is not true. I understand where that assumption came from because I know who it's from, but that is certainly not true. I am not somebody who thinks that if it's not organic, it's poisonous. I'm not somebody who thinks that my baby has to be wearing a $20 onesie at all time, and I'm not somebody who thinks that everything needs to be washed with this special detergent before my baby ever touches it. I'm just not of that mindset. Congrats to you if you are. If that works for you and you can afford that mentally and financially, have at it, let freedom ring. I can't mentally or financially afford either of those concepts. So that's just not a path I'm ever gonna go down in life. I'm not gonna be somebody who's just like a major worrier about every little thing like that, because I mean, I'm here. Yeah, I know my mom wasn't a worrier about all those things, and I'm here, I'm fine. I have no deficits because of it. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. As far as like wrapping everything in bubble wrap, I am probably gonna be really scared once the baby starts walking. That's definitely something I've thought about a lot, is once they start walking, it's terrifying, it's scary. We have hardwood floors here, so it's not as bad, but I have been around a newborn who was just learning how to walk where they had tile, and that scared the hell out of me. That made me so nervous at all times. We do have 2 big flights of stairs in this house, so we will be baby gating those off. But other than that, not super worried. I just don't want my kid to get a concussion for obvious reasons, as well as I don't want them to become a serial killer. Send it back, you know what I mean? If you know, you know. But I don't think I'm gonna be overly worried. I do think I will be worried. I don't think I'll be overly worried. I think I'm gonna be in the middle ground of like not worried, overly worried. I'll be in the middle. I'll be worried, but not overly so. This one I really appreciated. It says, no assumption, but every mom is different. You just do the best you can do and fuck people judging you. Thank you. I appreciated that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Every mother is different. Everyone is doing what they think is the best thing to do. So I would never want to shit talk another person's way of parenting. So I hope people don't do that to me. Although I know moms are like the most judgmental groups out there in the world. Crazy. I know, but they are. But I've had a pretty decent time being unaffected by what people say to me in life. Like as far as other people's assumptions and judgments, it's never really like resonated with me. It's never been something I take home with me and let like affect who I am as a person, because I know who I am as a person. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. So when people make false accusations or judgments about me, it doesn't like really bother me, because I'm like, oh, you don't know me. So last one that I'm going to address here is you're gonna put your kid on your YouTube channel. That is false. That is incorrect. My child will not be on my YouTube channel. There are a lot of different reasons. There has been a lot of conversations around this topic in my household between my husband and I. First and foremost, my husband is not an internet person. He doesn't have social media. He doesn't do Facebook. He doesn't do Instagram. None of it. He doesn't do any social media. You've probably never seen him on my YouTube channel. He has been on my YouTube channel in the past. However, I have to admit that was not necessarily him willingly being on my YouTube channel. That's me, him, like catching him here and there in vlogs or something, you know? And then like in the very beginning of us dating, we did a boyfriend Q&A. That's super old, but it does exist. But he will never be on my YouTube channel, you know, like he's just not that kind of person. He is not somebody who's comfortable putting his life out there for a bunch of strangers. I am, clearly, I'm here. But that being said, having a baby with somebody else, you have to keep in mind, this is not just my child. This is not just my baby. This is also my husband's baby. This is just as much my husband's baby as it is my baby. And since my husband is so uncomfortable with it, he's not comfortable with me having our child on my YouTube channel, and that's something that I'm totally okay with because I never intended to be a mommy vlogger. I never intended for my YouTube channel to revolve around my child or have my child in there a lot. So it's not really something that's important to me. It's not something that I'm willing to fight about. It's not something I'm willing to fight for because it is not important to me. It's not something that I feel strongly about. It is something that my husband feels strongly about. So I want to be like it's a compromise, but it's not even a compromise because like I said, it's something he feels strongly about. It's not something I feel strongly about. So it wasn't like a knockdown drag out argument that like he won. It's just he has strong feelings about our child not being on my YouTube channel, and I'm more than okay to accept those terms. I'm okay with that. I would rather my husband be comfortable than me expose them, as well as I don't believe in exploiting your children at the cost of YouTube views. I don't want to use my children to garner more views on my YouTube channel. I would hate to start looking at my child as content and start looking at their life as content, as well as if they grow up and are embarrassed by the things that I've posted of them. That's just a whole nother separate issue. I don't ever want my child to feel like I love them for performing for the camera. I don't ever want my child to feel like they have to earn my affection by playing it up for the camera. That's something that I just think is really toxic, and I don't want that for my child whatsoever. I really don't. I want my child to feel safe when they're around me. I want them to feel loved and accepted when they're around me, and I don't want them to feel like they have to put on any kind of an act or any kind of a show. It's not in the cards for us. As well as there are people in my family that I'm estranged from who I don't think, in the nicest way I can phrase this, I don't think deserve to have a relationship with my daughter, and I don't want to freely offer up a relationship with my daughter through my YouTube videos. So I don't want them to be able to watch my daughter grow up on my YouTube channel because frankly that's not something that they deserve, and it's a false sense of connection that I'm unwilling to give to them. As well as people in my past. There's a lot of people in my past who watch my YouTube channel who, again, I just don't feel comfortable seeing my daughter. It's not for you. So no, my daughter will not be on my YouTube channel. She will be on my Instagram. I will be taking photos of her. I'm not going to be somebody who hides like her face or something like that. Nothing wrong with that if that's what makes you comfortable. Again, that's every parent's choice. That's every parent's prerogative. You do you. But that's just personally where my comfort level is I'm okay sharing photos of her on Instagram and maybe little videos of her here and there on Instagram. But once I found out I was pregnant, I did set my Instagram to private for that reason. Because again, there are just certain people who I don't want to have access to my daughter, and I feel very strongly about that, and so for those reasons I have to protect her. It's kind of all I want to say about that topic. So that's it, you guys. Those are your assumptions about me as a mom. They were super lighthearted, obviously. If you wrote in, thank you so much. I do appreciate all the assumptions that I did receive. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.